to everyone. On behalf of the Hazel Park School District, the Webb staff, former and current, as well as Patrick's family, I'd like to welcome you all to a very special evening that we have planned to honor the life and work of a beloved Webb teacher, a hardworking Hazel Park Union leader, a trusted colleague, and a true friend, Mr. Patrick J. Lucy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go around. We appreciate you all coming to be part of this event. I see former students, staff members, current and retired, not only from Webb, but from across the district, who are colleagues and friends, family members who meant so very much to Patrick and supported him from home, and administrators from central office, our superintendent, Dr. Amy Krupe, as well as board members, Mrs. Melissa Baldwin, Mrs. Beth Hinton, and Mr. Rick Yankee. Thank you all for coming. Before I get started, I want to warn you that I'm a bit of a weepy person, and seminal speeches sometimes get the best of me. Despite 24 years of teaching and leading, this is still a challenge for me, so I'm going to do my best to push through tonight, as it is a great pleasure to take part in this wonderful event. In 1994, Patrick started working as a teacher in Hazel Park at Webster Elementary. Just 3 years later, in 1997, I was in my apartment at Michigan State, making a phone call to the school I had been assigned for my student teaching, Webster Elementary. I had a nice conversation with the lovely principal, Mr. Bob Mara, and he let me know he had assigned me to Mr. Patrick Boisney for my year-long student teaching experience in Hazel Park. This was the beginning of a career of crossing paths with Patrick. As the end of the summer drew to a close, a few things were shifted, and instead I was assigned to Mrs. Tammy Schultz. However, I worked closely with Patrick and his intern throughout the entire year as they were part of a program within the school called TOPS. I can remember many times coming into Patrick's classroom after a long day of school and I would see him tinkering with a computer or up on a ladder running cables through his classroom. Of course, the computers of those days are nothing like we see now, but it was clear early on that bringing technology into the classroom was a passion of Patrick's. At the end of that year, my path led me to Hoover Elementary to start my first year of teaching on my own, when Patrick went on to fill the newly created position of media technology teacher. He spent the rest of his career in this position, twisting and turning the trends in technology. If you haven't had a chance, you should check out the display he originally created a few years before he retired, and we updated a bit, which shows the changes in computers since he first started teaching until now. Patrick was on the district technology team and worked with people like Bill Chad, Ryan Stefanski, and Darren Fox. I still remember those corny videos they would do at our back to school day each August, but they led the way and made technology less scary for us, and they brought it into our classrooms. Oftentimes, Patrick would help to lead professional learning and demonstrate new programs or hardware. Through the years, he also worked closely with his media technology colleagues from other schools such as Rob Roberts, Adam Swallow, Chris Campo, Stacey Martin, Nancy Skachillis, and Kim Forrester, to name a few. He worked at Webster, Webb, Clark, United Oaks, and Hoover. The students loved to go to media technology class, and Patrick was always working to make things innovative and fun for the kids, sharing his love of computers and giving them the latest instruction with the newest technology. He prided himself in attending conferences and staying up to date with the changes as well as he could. Beyond technology, he also loved to have fun with the kids. He had the pleasure of teaching many of these students for all 6 years of their time in elementary school, and he enjoyed watching them change and grow. He often had funny names for them or took some time to share some silly poetry or tell a funny story, which made his class even more enjoyable. Our special subjects teachers also have the privilege of helping us out at lunch and at lunch recess. One of my most favorite things about Patrick is how he took this time to really spend it with the kids. He would find a student playing alone and throw the football with them, or sit down at a lunch table for a chat with a student or two who might have been sitting by themselves. He connected with the kids, and he truly cared about them, and they enjoyed being around him and respected him. Of course, he was much more than a technology teacher and made his impact on staff as well as students. Who do we call when we have a ghost? Ghostbusters. Who do we call when we have trouble with our technology at 8 a.m. right before the bell rings? Equally terrifying, by the way. We call the technology teacher. It was not uncommon for me to find Patrick in a classroom troubleshooting a problem with a teacher, trying desperately to get things working so all of the things planned on that technology for the day would work. If he couldn't fix it, he would put a request in for help and follow up to make sure things were back on track as soon as possible. I have to admit, more times than I can count, he was also there with me as I scrambled to get technology going for an assembly or an evening parent event. I can remember in my early years of teaching him coming over to my classroom across the district one August before school started to help fix the problem with the technology in my classroom. He always came when we called, he always helped and stayed until there was some sort of fix, and he never complained, at least not to us. Patrick supported his colleagues not only with technology, but he served in many different roles as part of the Teachers Union, the Hazel Park Education Association. At one point, he was the president of the union. He served on the bargaining committee for many years and held other important positions, including union building representative. As a member of the Teachers Union myself, I appreciated all he did to bargain for the things teachers felt was most important, surveying staff and getting opinions before bargaining so he knew what mattered. Of course, it felt a little different when I came to Webb as the principal in 2015 and Patrick was the union representative. The first year was a bit rough for us and we went back and forth on a couple of issues. I was learning my way and he was adjusting to a different style of administrator. As we went into our second year, we had a tough conversation that helped us both to lose the chips on our shoulder, and from then on we had a fantastic working relationship, bonding over our love of all things MSU, and enjoying the victories we racked up in those years in both basketball and football. We worked through things before problems arose. Sometimes it was me coming to him, and sometimes it was him coming to me, but we worked through everything with a common respect for each other and a common goal. There were times we had to have some hard conversations, and we wrestled with our opinions and our responsibilities. But when the door was closed and it was just Patrick and Corey talking, he wanted what I wanted, what was best for kids and what was best for staff, and we always found a way to make that work. He truly did support the school in so many ways. Each morning when there were teacher absences and never enough subs, he would go around making sure teachers knew when classes were having to be split or schedules rearranged. He made sure everyone knew what was coming with the days ahead. And as I would panic, thinking, I forgot to tell this teacher that, or that teacher had a last minute schedule change, they would let me know Patrick had already come around and filled them in. He was kind and considerate with them, as he was with all who worked with him, including Mrs. Laura Brown, who he shared this beautiful room with. They had a great friendship and worked collaboratively to help the kids enjoy this room as both a space to learn and work with technology and a place to find and fall in love with books. When he told me he was going to retire, I was so sad to see him go. Sad for the students, sad for the staff, and sad for me. I've come to really appreciate him and his support. Sorry. Of course, he took a few months off and took a great vacation with his wife, spent some time with his kids, who he always talked about so fondly. Then in December, he held true to his promise to come back and sub for us. It was all signed up. Had him scheduled for meeting days and of course for camp. And then before the holiday break was over, some bad news. Luckily, he was able to come back for a few visits and was welcomed by both staff and students as we all missed him. We still miss him. Because of COVID, we weren't able to say our goodbyes, so we are lucky to be able to celebrate him tonight and share our fond memories with each other and his family. We are all thankful for our time with Patrick here at Webb. His life and dedication to the students and staff of Hazel Park is remembered and appreciated. That is clear by how many of you have come tonight for this event. I think of him often as I walk by or walk in this room, and I know, I for one, am so glad it will now bear his name. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome our superintendent, Dr. Amy Kirby. Let's say a few words.
Good evening. What a wonderful evening to see all of you here today, and forevermore, as we are here in the Media Center, we'll think of Patrick. As I thought about what to say, the one thing from my heart has to be is that he was always kind to me. When a new person came in to change and move things around a little bit, he was always kind. He taught me the past and helped me look to the future. But what I have to say does not really matter right now, because I want to read to you what Patrick said to me. And I was going through my pieces, and when it was time for him to retire, he wrote this. He said, I would like to write my own. Mr. Patrick Bodzine is retiring this year from Hazel Park Schools after 26 years of service. He was originally from Bay City, Michigan. He went to Michigan State University, go Green, where he graduated with a degree in medical technology. While working as a medical laboratory scientist for 8 years, as he went back to school to become a teacher, Mr. Bodzine started in HP. As a student teacher at Ford Elementary School in January 1997, then he substitute taught at HP from the end of student teaching till June 1994, including 2 long-term positions at Clark Elementary School. He started his own classroom at Webster Elementary School in 1994 for 4 years, teaching 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. In 1998, he began the media program at United Oaks and Cloud Elementaries. He taught media and STEAM for 21 years at United Oaks, Clark, Webster, and Webb Elementary Schools. Patrick states, "I'm very proud to have represented Hazel Park teachers as president of the Hazel Park Educational Association from 2010 to 2013, as well as a member of the HPA bargaining team from 2009 to present." He also remembers the kindness and support of the Hazel Park Schools community during his daughter's illness, as it will always be a cherished memory. Patrick is married to Janet, his wife for 30 years, and has 3 children, Carolyn, Robin, and Eric. His entire family are all public school products and proud Spartan alumni. Go Green. In retirement, Patrick plans to travel, read, work, and continue to advocate for public education. Mr. Bodzine, Hazel Park salutes you and your dedication to our students, parents, and teachers. You have worked tirelessly as an advocate in and out of the classroom, and we will miss you and wish you the very best of luck. Choose kindness. He's still going to advocate for Hazel Park students and Hazel Park teachers right here in this library.
Now we have a special guest. It's kind of a surprise, not everybody knows. Former student George Studley is going to play a Beatles song. Beatles are Patrick's favorite band, and he's going to play Yesterday.
Oh, George.
is going to talk a little bit, and then she is going to get us moving on.
Wow. Good evening. I'm Lynn Lashbrook, and I worked with Patrick for 20 years. He was my mentor and my dear friend. Patrick Rosine is being remembered, celebrated, and honored tonight for being an incredible human in so many ways. As a teacher, a coworker, a leader. Yes, he was an incredible teacher. Our 4th and 5th graders had fond memories of Mr. Rosine from kindergarten and 1st grade, and many of them are here tonight. Peyton wrote, instead of doing normal attendance, he always rhymed our name with something funny. For example, Savannah Burnham. Mia chimed in, I was Mamma Mia, after the famous musical. And another, he called me Sid the Kid, sometimes Sid the Shark, I liked him more. Satori remembers Mr. Rosine used to read poems to us all the time. My favorite one, when he took a really big breath to read a really long poem. It was always just fun. It made us laugh. Austin from Boston says he let us come up and read a pizza the size of the sun with him. Riley remembers Mr. Rosine was a favorite teacher who greeted me every morning with, "Good morning, Adams." And Courtney, I remember how he would read a sentence and then let us guess the next word. Max wants you to know. We all had an amazing time with him. Zeta recalls, I loved his pencil tip. It's so cool, wiggling like rubber. And Savannah noted wisely, Mr. Rosine was so funny. He was a unique teacher who will always be in our hearts and our minds. An incredible teacher is remembered for the time, the moments that they spend with us, and the connections they make with us. And Mr. Rosine spent a ton of time with his students. He taught hundreds of students each week from ages 5 to 11, right here in the Media Center. That alone is 1,600 minutes. In addition, every child had contact with Mr. Rosine daily during the most unstructured and precarious time, lunch and recess. Yeah, where he could turn your day around, you move around, deftly arbitrate your dispute, open your milk carton, and remind you to play fair. All with his encouraging, ever-present smile. That's an additional 7,000 minutes a year. So by 5th grade, you've acquired over 51,000 minutes with Mr. Rosine. 850 hours. And that's not all. For years, Mr. Rosine was called upon to be a substitute teacher in our classrooms, sharing his knowledge and warmth with students no matter the class to which he was assigned. Add to that the ultimate Camp Hazelwood's experience to celebrate the end of elementary school. Mr. Rosine led nature hikes, built birdhouses, and baited countless hooks while fishing with 5th graders. Mr. Rosine was therefore a steadying presence and a nurturing and compassionate teacher for thousands of students from the time they entered our doors in kindergarten to their final days in 5th grade. He helped shape and mold our students and left them more knowledgeable and with precious memories of their time together. But an incredible coworker nurtures the adults around them as well. And Patrick did that. As I noted, he was a substitute teacher. What great luck for us teachers, right? Not only would the lessons be followed, but students would learn more than you had planned. And we were so comfortable and relieved, just knowing that while we were out, Mr. Rosine was in charge. Nothing crazy was going to happen that day. He would encourage us with positive reinforcement, and we thought that was for kids. He would leave a note for us, big timeline. We used it and reviewed the causes of the Revolutionary War. He told me my students were the best behaved class. Oh, he told you that too, huh? Yeah. Now I wonder if he also used behavior modification methods to make me a better teacher. And I certainly felt like a better person when he was around. He just noticed things that you did well. An incredible leader communicates well. Patrick was an active member of our union, the HPEA, serving for 4 years as our president and worked on the bargaining team until his retirement in 2019. He was able to listen to our needs, reached out to administration to amicably negotiate realistic solutions that helped everyone. Our district, our teachers, definitely our students. Pat's family can attest to the hours of training, negotiations, and feedback that he provided us during his HPEA leadership. But Patrick didn't hesitate to take the fight for teachers all the way to our Michigan legislature. One time, he organized his part teachers to attend a rally at the Capitol fighting for teachers' rights. He gave us pep talks and convinced us it would be fun to participate in democracy. We met in the parking lot. Too early for some of us, but not for him. Pat pulled up, smiling, because he was a morning person. We climbed into his warm vehicle, relaxed, and we just enjoyed our Uber experience all the way to Lansing. At the Capitol, he led us around the grounds and into the rotunda, onto the glass floor. For a bonus, we got a history lesson on the House and Senate wings, and a lively tour of the Gallery of Governors. It became an adult field trip. Best ever for me. We all know that behind every incredible human is an amazing support system. Patrick's wife Janet, the love of his life for over 31 years, not only gave him support, but according to Pat, also gave him terrific guidance. It was always spot on. And his mother-in-law, Virginia Meisel, always there for him, whom he described as a dynamic woman with endless energy. And then proudly added, she's my mom. Years ago, I asked your father, Pat, do you believe in miracles? And he very seriously responded, yes. I've witnessed 3. My children, Caroline, Robin, and Eric. The time has now arrived with this amazing family come up to honor Patrick J. Voisin for his total dedication to the profession of teaching and for his ability to instill the love of learning into all of the children who were fortunate enough to have him as their teacher.
Okay, here we go, guys. Yeah.
I'm going to open up the mic. If anybody wants to share a story or a funny memory of Patrick, you want to share?
Take it away.
So, I don't remember my name, or when he used to call me a name, I think it was Max and G's. So, I remember every morning I think he used to start out with the sun as a pizza. Pizza as the sun. And then after that, I keep on breathing into the thing.
It's okay. You're having a mistake. It's okay.
So after that, we used to do like computers or something else. And okay, so it's really hard that now he's gone for about a few years. It's been different, and I miss him a lot because he used to do very fun stuff with us, and I think he used to call out everyone's name during those like funny name things. And I'm finished.
Consistency sounds about right. Very good. Anyone else that wants to share a story?
I don't usually talk in front of big crowds, but I just wanted to share something that I've kept on my mind for a while. Every time we usually came into the media center, Mr. Voisin would always put on this show called The Fixies. Hopefully some of you guys remember it. It was where these little tiny figure people would like, build stuff with this one kid. But besides that, he would always send some kids to a table to go play games with like game boards, like these cherry thingies or whatever, apples. And then there's the Legos. And then he would also go take time to go spend time with kids at the table. Then he would go to kids and help them with their computer troubles, trying to figure it out. And I remember he taught us something on the Google map that you take this little yellow guy and you drop him to places to go look around on Google Map. I thought that was really cool. Well, I gotta say that he was my most favorite teacher out of the whole school.
When we were younger, he used to always play fun learning games with us. Learning was never boring, and before he would read Pizza the Side of the Sun, he'd always ask if anyone had chocolate milk, because if we laughed, it would go out of our nose.
So, as you can tell, Michigan fan, Patrick and I had this wonderful little battle all the time. So today I brought my Michigan State. I wear him in honor today as a joke, but this week especially because Saturday is Go Blue.
Go green.
And it's the big day, so starting on Monday with my classes, when I was in second grade, I taught the victory song. And every day at 3 o'clock we would march out of the building singing it, annoying everybody, and called I was brainwashing. And then every time I took my kids to media, Patrick would play the Michigan State fight song. I didn't even know you had one, so I thought it was go green, go white. But anyways, I think so. That was a big fun. So today I felt in honor of this week, he would not be happy with me if I didn't represent blue in the correct way that I would always represent. So that was one. Then another story I would just like to, as Ms. Lashberg has said, Patrick would do all kinds of crazy things with the kids, and that was always fun. And he was a wonderful sub. At the time, he was studying a lot. I was studying a lot, so we had lots of conversation about studying. So I'll keep those to myself. But it was always nice to know he was better with, he liked the older kids, I liked the younger kids. So Mrs. Stassi would I could go to the young side, he'd go to the older side, which made me very happy. So after he retired, I was the readings in MTSS. I had a group in there, and they were second graders, and Rodney's group. So I was studying with them, and we got in a conversation. They're like, "Well, where is Mr. Voisin? Why is he not here anymore?" I said, "Well, he retired." And they go, "What's that?" And I go, "He's loving life right now." I said, hopefully he's sleeping. I don't know. It was a morning class. So they were like, I said, "Well, maybe you know what? Maybe one day." I said, "I'm going to text him and see what he's doing right now." So I text him. I said, "Hey, Mr. Wood," I said, "Hey, Patrick, what are you doing right now? Are you like cool to be FaceTimed? Because there's some kids here that would like to see you." He's like, "Give me 5 minutes." So he FaceTimes these kids. Their faces lit up like they couldn't believe it. It was a group of 4 kids. They had just loved him because they were in a lower level group, and he always gave them special attention. So it was a great thing. And then he told them that next time he's in the building, he'll make sure that he'll come by at that reading time to say hi. And lo and behold, when he came in December for the food drive, I think, our basket, he stopped at my door, and I told him what time the second graders come. He said, "I'll be back." And it was right when he signed up to sub. And we made a big joke because he just retired and he had to pay $75 to get his fingerprints to make sure he was safe to be in the building. So, and then I experienced that a year later, and it was very comical. So I was hoping nothing came back bad, or we were 32 years in. What was I doing? But he did make sure that he came back and said hi to those kids, and so they made their day, and just was my go-to guy for any union question, any Apple question. My kids, your kids think you're dumb. Anything that I said at home didn't work, but if I said, "Mr. Voisin said on the Apple computer you do this, this, and this, and it gets you there," and they go, "Oh, okay." Because he was there to teach at United Oaks because they went to United Oaks. So he was a great guy. We missed him tremendously, and it was. I'm sorry, Patrick, but go blue. And I promise you, if you guys can pull out a miracle on Saturday, which I doubt, I will wear green on Monday.
It happened last year. It happened last year.
Don't mind me.
And you have to sub with the green on. And you have to sub with the green on a Monday.
I'll be in the UP.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else?
When I was younger, he would only, when there was a blank screen, when we would draw, he would always say, "Is that a polar bear in the snow?" And then when he would read the piece of the size of the sun, I remember that he would say, "Don't, make sure not to tell the 5th graders what galore means," and he ended up telling us.
Great.
Mr. Voisin was, as I say, I respect him as much as I respect as all the other teachers that work here. I remember some nicknames. One was Sid the Science Kid. Another one was London's Brits, because I have a friend named London. Whenever it was like free time and all the other kids would draw, play with Legos, play some board games, stuff like that. Whenever he would see someone lonely, with like Legos, he would say, "What are you building? What are you doing? What are you making?" That's all I got.
Good job.
Those were those annual recess times, right? Man was always.
I wasn't a student of Pat's, but he was my dad's best friend. So I feel some, yeah. I knew him pretty well. He meant a lot to me. I wish I was able to spend more time when I was older and just knew how, like, awesome and amazing and kind and special of a person he was. And I'm probably gonna cry.
It's okay.
But I remember, I don't even remember where it was, but I remember we'd go with me and my dad would go. I remember picking him up once and going to a football game because we had season tickets. We'd go with him sometimes, and I just remember being in the car, and we were in the car for so long, and there was so much traffic, and he didn't get mad, and there was a lot of funny jokes, and just like hearing my dad and him go back and forth and talk and seeing like how special, he was such a special person. He touched everyone, like I think he touched everyone in the heart that he met, and I think like yeah. I don't know, I just want to take a second and I wanted to say something because I miss him a lot and he was very important to me. He always seemed like he's kind of like a role model in some ways. He always seemed like a really awesome person. And yeah, I'm glad that he's getting like a media center donated to him. I'm glad that he was able to touch everyone here and mean something to everyone here that he did to me. And yeah, I'm sad he's gone.
Hi, I'm Jamie Moran. I had the pleasure of working with Patrick for 4 years, and I have a love of fun facts, and Patrick tapped into that because he also has a wealth of knowledge. And so he used to love playing Did You Know with me and teaching me fun facts. My favorite one was, did you know you cannot multitask? You can only brain switch very quickly. My husband and I still use that one with each other on a regular basis. But I just also wanted to share that listening to everybody's speeches tonight, I kind of had an epiphany tonight, and I realized that Patrick was Hazel Park's dad. He always made sure the job was done, but he still made time for fun. He took care of everybody, student, teacher, doesn't matter. He took care of everybody. And he always had a, dad joke up his sleeve. He always had a wealth of knowledge, something to teach you. He really was Hazel Park's dad, and he was amazing for that. So that's all I want to share.
When I was younger, I had a lot of respect for all the teachers, but I had a lot of respect for Mr. Boise, mainly because of how kind he was to all the students and staff members. My favorite memory about Mr. Boise was every time we would walk in here and see him smiling, it always made the whole class happy.
So we're smiling.
So every now and then, he would always let us use this little nice marker that we could, it's not like a dry erase marker, but it's more of like a magic pen that we could always, like, every now and then he would let us draw on the board, and just coming in and seeing him smile always made my day, and it was just the best part of it. And I'm kind of really sad that he's gone now, and I just wish that he could still be here today.
Anyone else? Wonderful, wonderful memories. Thank you all so much for sharing. Staff, students, it's great to hear from so many friends and family. Now, I would like to hand it over to Mrs. Laura Brown, who wants to pay tribute to Patrick by doing a reading. She's going to lead us in a reading of Pizza the Size of the Sun.
Anybody, I have 2 left if anybody would like. You guys all know it. Okay, good. Okay. I want to start by thanking Dr. Krupe and the Board of Education for allowing us to do this tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you all of you for coming. Here we go.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming tonight. Mr. Voisin's favorite poem, in January, we would start poetry. So it would be when we got back from Christmas, it would be time to start A Pizza the Size of the Sun. A Pizza the Size of the Sun is an entire book of poetry written by Jack Prelutsky. And he also loves Shel Silverstein too. But nobody loved any of the other poems as much as they loved Pizza the Size of the Sun. So I made a copy. I'm going to read what he used to read, and you all can reply with just the last word on each line. Okay, guys? And you guys all remember how to do this, right? Okay. I'm making a pizza the size of the sun. A pizza that's sure to weigh more than a ton. A pizza too massive to pick up and toss. A pizza resplendent with oceans of sauce. I'm topping my pizza with mountains of cheese. With acres of peppers, pimentos, and peas. With mushrooms, tomatoes, and sausage galore. Don't tell the fifth grade teachers you knew that word. With every last olive they had at the store. My pizza is sure to be one of a kind. My pizza will leave other pizzas behind. My pizza will be a delectable treat that all who love pizza are welcome to eat. The oven is hot. I believe it will take. I'm going to do it again. Can I do it again? Yes. The oven is hot. I believe it will take a year and a half for my pizza to bake. I hardly can wait till my pizza is done. My wonderful pizza the size of the sun. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much.
I hadn't expected to say anything. You can hear me in the back, right? I don't need a microphone.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to say, and I will try to do this without crying. I want to thank Dr. Krupe, Mrs. Nastasi, Lynn Lashbrook, Laura Brown, for getting this all together. This would not have happened without the four of them. And he loved being a teacher here. He loved his kids. He loved the parents. This was his happy place. He liked home. But, he spent the majority of his time here, and you kids meant everything to him. And his funny little nicknames for you, that was out of love and respect for you. And he would have never, he wouldn't have retired, but for, I don't know why, but,
Right.
He was coming back. He was going to be a sub, and which kind of was crazy. But anyway, he just couldn't stay away. He loved you all. He loved the staff, the teachers and the support staff and the administration. Yes, this was his place, and this is wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, because you made this happen. So thank you, everybody.
Wow, what a beautiful tribute. Really special to take part in all this, and thank you all for sharing your thoughts and your feelings and your stories. So great to hear them all. Thank you, Janet and family. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. It means a lot to all of us to share this with you. COVID has delayed this far too long, and we were finally able to make this happen, so we really appreciate it. And thank you for the refreshments and being here tonight. Also, thank you, George Dudley. What a beautiful song. Where did you go? There you are. I would have loved that, for sure. And thank you to Lynn and to Laura, who were my partners in crime and just did a wonderful job with the details and pulling it all together. You guys did an amazing job. I really appreciate all of you. And thank you to the Board of Education for allowing this to happen. This feels right and it looks beautiful. We're just so happy to have that here. So Thank you all for coming. We appreciate you. Please take some food on your way out. Stay and mingle if you'd like. Have a great night.